Ghosts, goblins, demons, angels, poltergeists, hauntings, mysterious or evil creatures.
The paranormal.
This fear of what could be waiting for us in the shadows has gnawed at the back of humanity's mind since the beginning of recorded thought.
Our question is, why? Why are we afraid of the boogeyman or the strange bump in the middle of the night?
We're both certified paranormal investigators from the Australian Institute of Parapsychological Research. We are Sparrow and Nightingale.
And when we hear something that goes bump in the night,
we're the ones who bump back. Looks like an ordinary, peaceful little country town. But there are tales of an unearthly creature that lurks here that has both frightened and intrigued people since the town's establishment in 1838.
And our assignment, if we choose to accept it, is to see if we can't prove them wrong.
Everyone knows the story.
It would come down in the winter, hiding in the mist.
A long, lanky, horrific creature.
Yeah, wide demonic eyes that glow in the night.
Whatever frightened the priest, it's long dead now.
He was nuts, insane.
It always starts with one person going missing.
No, that can't possibly exist.
I believe.
While stories of the creature of Carcoar Tunnel have been around since Carcoar was first settled, we're willing to bet the stories go back much further.
This creature has been blamed for lost livestock and missing family members since 1882, and while oral record is an important part of human history, the tendency for the storyteller to over-exaggerate certain elements of a legend or horror story makes evidence of this kind unreliable. With that in mind, we've come to see an old friend. Father Tim Carl, parish priest of the Blaney Shire, says he has something I might find interesting.
This is the only record I've ever found. The old church attic was being repaired, and apparently one of the workmen put his foot through the floor, and after he'd looked at the damage, he found an old, leather-bound, homemade book. It contains the chronicles of one of the early priests of Carcoar, but the interesting part is in these last few pages.
The accounts.
The only account of anyone actually seeing the creature, 1890.
Is it possible that the creature people talked about could have existed, like the vampire of Highgate Park in London?
There are things in heaven and earth that shall forever remain a mystery. But the demons are real, and they take many guises.
Something just happened. Future generations may not believe what has transpired. They may call me insane, but I would not blame them. I doubt my own sanity right now, but I shall do my best to tell.
That which should scarce be possible. I left Mrs. Gonham's at what I believe to be near 3 in the morning. The reason is little consequence now. As I was nearing the turning down into the town to return to the presbytery, I was struck by the unnerving sensation of being observed. There was a blood-curdling scream, and as the pony took off, I saw it. Long, gangly, hideous, with cruel-looking teeth and large, flat, glassy eyes. The creature. It was supposed to be only a thing in the story, something to frighten children with when they were badly behaved. But it was there, staring after me with flesh between its teeth and a fresh corpse at its feet. It hissed, snarled and growled until I was no longer in sight, and as I bolted the presbytery door shut, I heard a sound, something between a scream and a howl that chilled me to the bone. Then, not an hour ago, Mr. Langley roused me from my frightened stupor to tell me the news. Charles MacDougall has been found dead on the tracks up by the Carcoar Tunnel, completely gutted.
We found a legend that predates the Carcoar Tunnel sighting. an old Aboriginal tale of a creature that would lurk in the caves or tall trees. It would mimic a human cry for help and would sometimes keep its victims alive for days until it's finished hunting. Then it would slowly eat its victims alive.
This sounds exactly like the stories we've been told about the creature of Carco Tunnel, though. But it also means that if this thing were real, then it has relatives. Well, like, for instance, the Toronto Tunnel creature in Canada. Or even the Wendigo of North America, and even the Chupacabra of South America, or the shadow creatures of the UK. While there have only been 2 sightings of the creature near the tunnel itself, once by a man who worked on the tunnel's construction in 1888 and once by Father Gambin in 1890, all the other sightings have been either in the forest in the hills behind Carcow, near the hospital, or up in the old cemetery, meaning there's only one thing left for us to do, and that is to go and check it out. Ready, Nightingale? Okay.
This is becoming increasingly like the Blair Witch Project.
This way out.
What was that?
I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna take this and have a look. You gonna be right? Alright. I'm coming back. Jesus.
Oh, God. Okay, so viewers would remember an episode where Sparrow was conversing with a spirit.
Oh my god.
She came out fine, but when it attacked her. This time I'm not so sure.
Run.